A key consideration also for quantitative methods is software. Could you summarize some of the areas we're considering around this in the course development and the potential approach to software packages?
Yeah, software is always a good one. It's a bit of a minefield. I mean, inevitably, people have their sort of personal preferences for one software platform over another. I mean, my view is that the software is just a tool in order to effectively do the number crunching, and with a given data set, whether you're shoving, if you're running a regression, say, whether you're shoving it into even simply Excel or SPSS or Stata or R or Python or JASP is another more recent one I've been made aware of, you're going to get exactly the same results out. Clearly, some software may be easier to navigate, may seem more intuitive than others. How e.g. regression results are presented, there may be slight cosmetic differences, but it doesn't really matter. And then my analogy would be take a phone. What handset do you have? Doesn't really matter. You'll have a preference perhaps for a specific a brand, but in terms of being able to phone someone or message someone, take a photo, it really makes no practical difference. Or computers, is one a Windows or a sort of a Mac lover? It doesn't really matter. One can still perform the same sorts of tasks. So this is, of course, open up for debate. I'm sure prospective module authors will have their own personal preferences in their teaching and their comfort and familiarity. So to what extent there is variation in preferred software packages across sort of module authors, again, up for discussion. To what extent maybe to offer, let's say, sort of screencast or worked examples of the same data set, but possibly across a range of different software packages, and then learners themselves, depending on their personal preference and comfort of a particular package, they've got some examples about how they can work with it. So I think one would never gain a universal agreement on one software package. They will have their relative advantages and disadvantages. E.g., is it free or do you have to pay for the thing? Ease of use, do you need to do any sort of programming? Do you want some sort of point and click kind of interface? But if you're putting the same data in, running the same method, you're going to get the same output regardless. And I think there's a strong emphasis in this course, not so much about the software package itself, but what those numbers mean, how you interpret them objectively, and what would be fair conclusions or inferences to draw from the computer results.